Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto and happy holidays in advance. I'll still be here during the holidays, alright? So if you need some to distract you and if you want to watch a video, I'll be there. But I wanted to start the video a little bit positive because if we're looking at the markets right now, it's not too positive. The US opened about an hour ago, and so far it's turned into a bit of a drop. Now, when the US opened, or a little bit before that. We got the news that Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy bought some more Bitcoin in the last couple of weeks. Most often that was bearish, all right? And today it's also, or at least it looks like we're actually seeing somewhat of a drop here. I think in terms of like what we said this morning, and that Bitcoin is trying to find some sort of a consolidation. We talked about the possibility of dropping down lower into like $89,000 and $87,000, which is the next support level, and that is certainly still a possibility. But so far, I still actually do think that we'll be able to hold this level. And very often, if you get a drop like this, right? So this is basically a spike. The timing of the candle close makes it seem like more than it is, but this is basically the same as this. And what you very often want to see is that we form some sort of a double bottom here, or that we actually get some sort of get some sort of a retest of the spike. So as long as we're holding 92,000, I think we're fine. The thing though is, talking about the fundamentals, and we'll talk about Bitcoin first and the markets, then we'll talk about altcoins a little bit later, but altcoins right now, as you can see right here, are not amazing. They don't look amazing, at least. They're all very correlated, but there are some things that are quite interesting and that I want to talk to you about. But no, looking at, in general, the market circumstances today, what you can see is that, first of all, the USDT dominance has started to become a little bit more bullish. We are nearing some major resistance levels, so it could be interesting to actually maybe long some altcoins if the USDT dominance finds that resistance. But then if we take a look at the stock markets here, they've actually opened relatively bearish. Russell 2000 as well, Nasdaq as well. All of the stock markets have opened quite bearish. Something like the dollar strength index has continued to be bullish, and the Bitcoin dominance is dropping down. That's quite nice of Bitcoin, but it's outside of that, like most of the fundamentals right now are not ideal, and the fix is also still quite high, which I also don't like. Even though I think this is most likely to drop down, but even with the other fundamentals, I still think the fundamentals right now are not amazing. And then especially if we look at the Coinbase Bitcoin price, that has dropped down into a massive discount, right? So as long as the circumstances stay like this, we will stay relatively bearish, which is what we are right now. Now, the big question, like I said, is how will Bitcoin react to 92,000? If we can get a good bounce there, and if we are able to form some sort of a lower time frame double bottom, I think we're fine, and I think we can consolidate here and also get a move into 99,000. Personally, like, I hold spot positions, but I'm not trading right now, all right? These are, in my eyes, not circumstances to trade, because if Bitcoin does not find a strong touch from 92,000, it's most likely will drop down lower towards 89,000, and then from there we'll see whether we can trade a bit more from there. But yeah, so like I said, for altcoins, what this means is that with a Bitcoin dominance that has been relatively weak today, altcoins have been able to hold on relatively well. I would still say, especially when altcoins are moving like this, I would still say altcoins are not good to trade. All right, but I do think that there are still opportunities. And there are some coins, like the strongest coin over the last, 3 hours, is actually Solana. And I think something like Solana, which I'll show you right now, and there's some other coins, which I'll show you as well. But if you look at Solana here, like on the higher time frames, we're at a major support. And if this drops down into 170, or potentially even back into 180 again, I think this is still a great trade opportunity, or maybe a spot buy opportunity, right? On the daily time frame, might not look too great, but 3-day time frame, it looks fine in my eyes. So something like Solana looks quite interesting here. Most of the other altcoins don't really, but there are some other smaller ones. Like if you take a look at something like Usual, very strong coin. I would wait for some sort of a breakout here above 1.25 or 1.23 before entering. But there are opportunities like these isolated coins that are relatively new and that are not too exposed to the market yet. I think they're interesting. Frex Share got some news about a potential BlackRock partnership or a real BlackRock partnership. So something like this is quite interesting. And then, you know, the more like the veteran altcoins, something like XRP, something like Dogecoin, those look more similar to Bitcoin here. Especially XRP actually looks like it's dropping down into $2, which we talked about earlier this morning. Dogecoin looks more similar to Bitcoin in the sense that it's probably retesting the spike we had. So yeah, some altcoins look fine, especially for spot buys for the longer term, for the next couple of months. But in general, I would say stay away from trading right now and wait for somewhat more of a structure to form, at least on Bitcoin. And those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know for now. If you do have any questions, let me know down in the comments, of course. But for now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.